So we saw that there was the three big things recurring in the thread that you guys have posted. How can we be sure that you guys are going to do the game that we want to have and play and for you guys to make, and not have a situation where we play the game and like we don't like this? How, based further from the feedback, like what are you guys doing internally to make sure that this, what happened to Dragon Age 2, isn't going to happen to hypothetical Dragon Age 3, which hasn't been announced? Mark?
So I guess,
You're good.
okay. So I guess what I'd say is watch what we're doing. Our policy is going to be to show you as we go. So I think is wait and see, pay attention to what we're showing you, and hopefully we can convince you that we're being more open, more responsive to your feedback.
Great. Awesome, thank you.
But don't take my word for it. Pay attention.
So first off, I just want to say I love the Dragon Age series. I mean, I've been hooked since Origins, and like everything even slightly Dragon Age related. So you guys are amazing. Thank you. My only thing I wanted to ask was, for most of Dragon Age 2, I really didn't feel that agency, that everything I was doing really mattered. But then the ending, it felt like all these choices I made got streamlined down into this one thing, and all of a sudden that all that agency went away. Were you guys doing that with the storyline on purpose, or was that just like we needed to get it out the door, or like it felt like it went from this I can do everything and all of my choices matter to no matter what I do, there's this one possible thing.
Yeah, there was a mounting sense of, I think, inevitability in the storyline for DA, which ultimately with DA2, when you develop a frame narrative, there's kind of an outcome that things are heading towards. And I think that given a chance to do it over again, I think that on the way through that kind of third part, the post-champion part, we would have had more variety and more reactivity to the choices you made along the way. So the end result, I think, was that without that kind of wider experience, that it ended up kind of feeling very railroady as a result. Ultimately, I think it just boils down to that wasn't ideal. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Thanks for taking the time to answer our questions here. Just one thing about the hypothetical Dragon Age game that could be happening. I was wondering, what are the chances of seeing some sort of co-op multiplayer setting in that? Because it felt like Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2 would have been great. My friends all enjoy playing the games, and we enjoy watching each other play the games. It would be great to have them with a controller or another PS3 and have them play with.
So I would say that, let me put it this way. If we're going to pursue co-op, ever, where we would start would be to take a long, hard look at how Baldur's Gate did it. That shared experience with your friends, and make sure that was a priority. Whether that's going to happen soon, in the future, at some point, I can't say right now. That there are a lot of technical questions before that can really be answered. But that would be the approach we use. We've certainly talked about it, like how would we do it? Would we do something like Mass, which honestly is a very cool system. But I think that the big thing would be, take a look at Baldur's Gate, the kind of experience that offers, where you can sit down with 3 or 4 friends over the internet and just pile through some adventure together, and make sure that we nail that. And then from there, I don't know, the sky's the limit, I guess.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So with the previous Dragon Age games, there was sort of this thing where you could become a blood mage and use magic illegally in front of people who would arrest you for it. And then they're like, okay, thanks. So I was kind of wondering if there would be something like, you guys mentioned that you want to integrate the story more. But I was thinking, story goes beyond just conversation options. Story is who you make your character, what selections you make, where you fight, what you fight, those types of things. How much of that can be
You're right. One of the plans, when Mike's talking about having more consequences for your choices, one of those consequences will be for the class you play, and in particular the specialization you play. A lot of it came down to was how much we do for each specialization. And the hard part for something like Blood Mage specifically was that it has such a large presence in the world that relies on the fact that it's just one of a number of specializations, right? So it's hard to do it properly. But what we would like to do is have each of the specializations be more special, in terms notably of how you get it, what happens once you've got it. So I would say, we're definitely looking at having more recognition by the world of things like lighter language.
I'll be quite frank, and I'm increasingly starting to feel like something we should be doing is making the specializations singular. So you have one, and you pick it, and that affects the outcome of your story, because it's the permutations and combinations of having, like, okay, these two for this class, and how does that interact if I'm a very dealer with if I'm myself, that kind of stuff. And then that means it tends to fall down. So, I mean, you know, we may be exploring just bringing it down to one and having it have greater impact as a result of that choice.
Hi, I come from the real life town of Kirkwall in Scotland. I wondered what made you move to Kirkwall in Dragon Age 2?
I'm sorry, there was feedback on that. I couldn't make out what you were saying.
I come from the real life town of Kirkwall in Scotland.
Oh, Kirkwall. You guys have lovely scotch. We have a model in the office.
Which one, Scapa or Highland Park?
I don't remember. Yeah, okay.
So what made you move to Kirkwall in Dragon Age 2?
Scotch. There's something about a name on the map, you know.
First of all, I just want to say I love the ride. Oh my God, I love it.